Every once in a while, I'll get these mysterious emails or DMs with people that tip me off with news.
Okay.
Like, Evan, I got to tell you, is going to happen. And most of the time, I keep it to myself because I'm not a journalist. I'm just a guy on the radio giving opinions. That's it. I don't pretend to be a journalist. But every once in a while, I'm like, I wonder if this is actually going to happen. And most of the time when I get these unnamed envelopes, these DMs, these emails, they turn out to be true. I'll give you some minor examples.
Sure.
Jeff McNeil has thoracic outlet syndrome.
Thoracic outlet.
Thoracic.
Like Jurassic?
Correct.
Thoracic Park.
For some reason, someone tipped me off like a month ago about it. And I was like, okay, didn't do anything with it. A while ago, there was an injury in the Met rotation. I got tipped off about it. Then there was another trade. Got tipped off about it. And again, most of the time, I keep it to myself. I'm going to tell you one that I got tipped off on only because it is so freaking insane that I wanted to share it. It's like a perfect sports talk radio trade.
All right.
So if you ask me, Evan, do you believe the unmarked email? Do you believe this DM?
It's just a tip.
Do I believe that this is real?
Okay.
I would probably tell you, probably not. But you know what? Let's have fun.
All
It's
right.
a Wednesday. So here's the trade. Brandon Nimmo would be going to a destination in which he would have to waive his no-trade clause.
All right.
A player would be coming back who also would have to waive his no-trade clause.
Okay.
This unnamed player is signed for the exact same amount of years as Brandon Nimmo. 5 more years, right? So it lines up. Brandon Nimmo is 33. This player is 34.
Okay. And again, just to reiterate, this is not somebody floating something to you because they want to get your thoughts. It's what they have heard has been discussed.
He says, I've heard this from a good source, not from either team, but from, I guess I'll reveal it, the agency.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, I'll take it for what it's worth. So again, the contracts line up, the ages line up, but they both have no trades. Brandon Nimmo would have to approve a trade to Southern California. Would he want to go to Anaheim? And would Mike Trout want to play in New York? Brandon Nimmo for Mike Trout. Now, Mike is due $36.5 million. Brandon is due about $20.5 million per year. So the Mets would have to take back an extra $16+ million per year over the next 5 years to bring in the first ballot Hall of Famer. So that's what I was tipped off on. My first reaction is, hell no. Trout's done. I don't want anything to do with him. But what say you?
So
Would you trade Brandon Nimmo for Mike Trout? And I assume you have to take on the contract, like they have to take on his contract. And so the Mets would have to be picking up an extra $16 million per year to make a deal like that work. What's your thoughts on that?
All right, I want to be very clear. I think trading anything for Mike Trout scares the death out of me because I'm like you, right? He doesn't play full seasons for the most part in the last 5-6 years at this point. However, this is unique because I think you're accomplishing a couple things if you're the Mets. First and foremost, it is a way to do the old proverbial shakeup of the core.
I mean, it would definitely shake things up.
Definitely shake things up. And there is still a part of me that is intrigued by the idea of, you know, as bad as things have gone for Mike Trout injury-wise and everything, to bring him here where he wouldn't have to be the man, he wouldn't even have to be the second man, maybe even not the third man if it's Alonso and Lindor at this stage of his career. Could he relax a little bit, be a little comfortable closer to Philly, get to his Eagle games when he wants to get to them, and then just kind of sink in and the upside of a healthy Trout probably still outweighs the upside of a Nimmo? Yeah, I think I would make that trade. I think I would.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
I'm not 100% on it, but I think I would.
I would not. I think Mike Trout's done. He never stays healthy. One of the beauties of Brandon Nimmo, despite the idea that the Mets are open to trading him, is that he posts. That's the term that the kids use now, which means he plays every single day.
That's called posting?
It's called posting, right? He posts every single day. And Mike Trout is the anti-poster. Like over the last 5 years, he doesn't play. Last year was the year he played the most. He played 130 games, and most of the time was now DHing. So you're talking about a guy who, while he's the same age as Brandon, and of course, his upside is enormous. He was the best player on the planet. I don't know if that upside exists anymore. And over the next 5 years, I would actually trust that I'd get more out of Brandon Nimmo than Mike Trout. So even if there was a deal where the money became evened out, which it isn't because Trout makes $16 million more per season, I still wouldn't do it. So take it for what it's worth. First of all, do you believe the tip? Do you believe the random DM unmarked email?
I do.
You do? You believe that's being pushed?
I do, only because there's enough smoke on both ends, right? Like, after the Passan article came out, we heard rumors about Colorado involved with Nimmo. There's clearly enough there on the groundwork of the Mets are at least throwing fishing lines out there, and Nimmo has the no trade to figure that out. A place like Southern California, maybe that is something that would interest Nimmo. On the other end, you've heard enough the last 2 years about Trout leaving. I bet you there are some regrets Mike Trout has about not leaving the Angels years ago when he signed the extension. At the end of his career, is he really just going to finish this thing out in Anaheim and not want to take a chance on coming to a contender like that and still getting paid his money?
And if you're the Angels, you should want to move on from him because they're apparently trying to win. They made that big trade last night in which they acquired Grayson Rodriguez from the Baltimore Orioles for Taylor Ward. Like, they're trying to win, and they're reportedly going to spend some money. Well, that would save you money. And you'd get what is right now the better player because one guy actually plays and the other one doesn't.
I think the only thing holding this up would be the Mets end going, is this really what we want to do?
I wouldn't want to do it. I'm being honest with you.
You wouldn't. And I bet you there is probably internal within the Mets, if this is something that's brought up, that's exactly discussing that. But I don't know, man. If both guys would agree to waive their no trade in a deal like that, and knowing the smoke around, I tend to believe that this was at least discussed.
It's funny. I said to you yesterday when passionately talking about how I don't think Brandon Nimmo will be traded. It doesn't really make any sense. You're not going to get much of a return. I said the only way you'd really be able to trade him is if you take back another contract. Mike Trout arguably has the worst contract in baseball.
Yep,
because he is signed for 5 more years, making $36.5 million, and he doesn't play. That's as bad as it gets. I understand he's going to the Hall of Fame. Good for him. But why would anyone believe when he couldn't stay healthy in his late 20s, early 30s, that he'd be able to stay healthy into his mid-30s?
It's an enormous gamble, and you wouldn't believe it. But I think you would also back that up by going, you know what, these are Steve Cohen's Mets. Can we find a reliable fourth outfielder that's okay being a piece where we're not totally crushed if Trout isn't there, where he could play if he did get hurt? Also, very rare, fish for fish trade.
Nimmo
and Trout.
Yeah, finding Nimmo for John. Okay. That's good.
It is good.
Did you think of it right away, or did that take you like a good 7 minutes to come up with?
It just came to me, which is why you didn't get the typical me long wind-up to get there.
It just hit you. Would you make that trade, Tommy?
As our good buddy Pete Alonso once said to me, Evan, hard no. Mike Trout is always hurt. When he's healthy, he's shot. He's just over the hill. He's not very good anymore. So I would not make that trade. Brandon Nimmo, maybe we as Met fans slightly overvalue him. I'd say that's probably fair, but he still plays every single day. He fills the box score, so to speak, as a baseball player. And Mike Trout is just, he's done.
I think we do the opposite. I think we undervalue him.
Really?
The fact that he plays every single day. And look, he's not perfect. Like, he struggled a lot, especially down the stretch. He was a big part of the Met collapse. But there's a value to going out there and essentially playing every day, even through injuries.
I agree with that. But it doesn't mean you don't overvalue, I think, his ability on a baseball field.
Why are you whispering?
Did that sound like a whisper?
Yeah, it sounded like you got very quiet. Like, I don't want to say this out loud, but, Brandon Nimmo sucks.
Full disclosure?
Yeah.
I was holding in a burp.
Oh.
So I didn't know it. I thought I smoothly did it.
The other thing about Mike Trout, now that we're waiving things, he would have to waive his Eagles season tickets.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would.
No, the Knicks will.
No. They don't go to the games like he does. Like they're Eagle fans, but they wear the gear. Mike Trout's sitting at these games.
So is our manager, so they can go together.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one to argue, Tommy. Half of the New York athletes are Philly Eagle fans.
Carl Anthony Towns sits on the bench in Eagles gear and then changes.
I understand that, but to me, out of everybody, I think Mike Trout is the biggest of the Eagle fans of everybody that we mentioned.
No, I think he's the biggest. I'm not going to argue that, but we are so used to New York athletes.
So we have to add another one?
Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't be why I wouldn't want him.
No, it's just another add-on, though. It's the fact that he's not good anymore. He's always hurt, and he's an Eagle, season ticket holder.
I want him even more on the Mets now, just so that Tommy, when he does the whole positive Tommy thing, has to now own this part of it. That he doesn't want him.
I'll tell you,
I don't want him.
As a fan of the teams I root for, I don't think I have to worry about any Eagle fans. As a Mets, Jets, Nets fan, Islanders fan, we don't have any Eagle fans on our team. But if you're a Yankees fan, you got the manager. And by the way, if you're a Giants fan, you got Abdul Carter, too. Remember, I asked him to denounce the Philadelphia Eagles when we met him in camp. He wouldn't do it. So Abdul Carter is still secretly an Eagles fan. And obviously the entire Knick team.
Yeah, that's a tough one. As long as we're talking about Eagle fans, just real quick, great idea. I'm in on the trade. We haven't brought this up, but it needs to be said even for 30 seconds. Pete Davidson, you're a loser. Never come back to Staten Island, get lost. You grew up a Giant fan, and suddenly the Eagles kind of rubbed your tuchus, and you're at every Eagle game, including Sunday night. Get lost. You're a loser.
I think I heard the story a year ago on how Pete Davidson became an Eagle fan.
Yeah, I think we did it, but now it's becoming more in the focal point. Either way, I don't like the story.
I forget what the backstory was, but you're right. Mr. Staten Island himself, the king of Staten Island, is an Eagle fan somehow. Yeah, but you know what? We're infested by Eagle fans like Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Karl Anthony Towns, Aaron Boone, Mike Trout. It goes on and on.
Josh Hart technically is a Commanders fan.
My apologies. You're right.
He's a Yankee Commanders fan.
You're right. Josh Hart, I apologize. You're exonerated. But Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns, Aaron Boone, and maybe Mike Trout.
Abdul Carter.
Again, take it all with a grain of salt. That was my unmarked email today that there's a push for Brandon Nimmo for Mike Trout. I say hard no. Much like Tommy did. Universal.
One last question. The person that sent you this, was he somebody that's also sent you a past tip that was good?
First time he's ever sent me a tip.
First tipper.
Always got to worry about the first tip. Yep. But
Is that a new report or an old report?
I'm telling you, whenever I get these unnamed tips, they turn out to be true. And today I decided, why not? I'll share it with everybody.
I'm choosing to believe.
And somehow, I don't know how this will happen, it will be pinned that it's my report. And it's not. I got nothing. I'm just repeating to you the tip I got. So this will somehow become Evan Robert. I ain't reporting anything. I'll tell you the guy's information. I'll put him out there as he's reporting it.
I can't stress enough. You don't want to report things. Because even when you're right, people have a problem with it.
That's right. You were right. Let's get to your calls. 888-808-1019, the number.